Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelly Casey. I'm from Solihull College. Tonight, in this very new age of presenting open evenings, I'll be going through some information on the courses that we currently offer. This will be going along with a PowerPoint slide, so I'll be disappearing in a second and you'll just have the PowerPoint, and I'll just add some information as well as going through what's on the slide. My head of school, Lisa Cleaver, will be taking any questions in the chat that you may have afterwards. So do jot down if you have any questions, and we'll get to them. You can pop them in throughout, as far as I know, and if not, save them till the end and pop them in the Q&A, and we'll get to them. So if you'll bear with me, we're just about to share our screen, and we'll start the PowerPoint.
Just to say before we start, there is a signer joining us as well this evening. And if you need to see the signer and can't on the screen, if you just pop it in the chat and then we can sort it out. I should have said I'm Lisa, who Kelly said was also joining you.
Yeah, and our signer is Claire Watmore, so hi Claire. Okay, so this is our open evening for Performing Arts, Monday the 23rd of November 2020. Welcome to everybody. Okay, so whatever level you are looking for, we're looking for students who are creative, curious, hardworking, experimental, resilient, and disciplined. We do expect to see the commitment of your chosen subject, particularly within performing arts. There is a commitment and a genuine calling for this side of the arts that we find our students, the best students that we always end up with. They a high standard of attendance, punctuality, and the ability to complete work to deadlines. All right, so what do I need to get a place? We currently offer level 1, 2, and 3 courses at Solihull College. Okay, so as you can see from the screen there, we have level 1 in Diploma in Performing Arts. We need some skill and interest in subject area. Entry requirements for that, 2 grade 2s or an E at GCSE. 1 must be performing arts or related to that: drama, dance, music, etc. One of those. All right, level 2 Diploma in Performing Arts need a strong interest in subject area, developing skill level. Entry requirements, as you can see there, 4 grade 3 or D at GCSE, and 1 of them must again be performing arts or related subject, or a merit at level 1. Moving on to level 3, we have level 3 extended diploma in performing arts. Now this is over the course of 2 years. The first year you will attain a level 3 diploma. Then you will apply to get onto the second year, which is the level 3 extended diploma. Solid understanding of subject area is necessary, previously studied at school, or significant external involvement, so such as a dance class, music class, drama group, etc. Entry requirements are laid out there. 4 grade 4 at C or C at GCSE. 1 of them must be English and performing arts or related subject, or a merit at level 2 and GCSE grade 4. We don't expect you to memorize all of that. These requirements, will be available on the website also. But that's just a basic layout of what's required. You'll also need to prepare for and attend an audition and provide us with a reference to be accepted onto a course. The process would ordinarily be that you would be sent information on what's required of you, but there will definitely be an audition of sorts required and a reference from the school. All right. All students who do not achieve a C or a 4 in English or maths will have to retake. Okay, this is part of the government initiative to get everybody up to a certain level in maths and English. These sessions will then be built into your timetable at the college. You will also be expected to complete 30 hours of work experience. This sounds like a lot, but it can be broken down over the period of the whole year. It can be done in bulk over Easter or over half terms, okay? And 30 hours, when you do it that way, do add up really quickly. Okay, this can be off-site or through a live project brief that happens within the course. You'll also be expected to produce work in your independent time, which then must be logged. This is something that the staff will guide students on, but you you will get used to sort of logging that onto your online platform, which is called Pro Portal, which we go through with the students. So just logging any extra work that you do. Support is available if you have any additional support needs. Solihull College prides itself on the support that we do give our students, and we take time in the early stages of the course to just really get to know what those specific needs are, in order to make sure that we support our learners to get the very best result that we can out of them, and for them to enjoy their learning experience here at the college. So please do declare any sort of disability or any support need of any kind that you may need, that you think that you might have throughout the application process in order to get that support. Okay. If you do not achieve the grades that you were predicted, we will offer you a place on the next appropriate level. Our goals are to support students to be successful and to find a way for them to achieve that. Sometimes this means it can take an extra year or more to build up on these skills. The first 6 weeks of the year are a trial period. The first 6 weeks of the course for everybody. All students are on a 6-week probation where students can be transferred between courses and levels. The reason we do this is it gives us that time to kind of get to know them, just to see if they're on the right course, if it's too difficult, if it's too easy, to shift levels around, and also just to see how they're doing and if this is going to be something that they're going to commit to full term. All right. Students must attend well and complete all work set within this period to complete the trial. So we look at things such as attendance, punctuality, general attitude, how they're coping, how things are going, and their well-being overall. If students are struggling or excelling, you know, they can then be transferred and moved around accordingly. Next slide, please. Oh, I feel like a politician. The costs of the course, right? The courses we offer are specialised and therefore incur a level of cost. Okay, be aware of this when applying for any sort of arts courses. All right. The KIP fees are payable at enrolment, and this is to cover materials and resources that you need for your project work, and the costs do vary. All right. Now, we usually go on a number of trips and visits during the academic year, usually. Obviously, this year's been slightly different so far. But we're trying to do this in an online way at the moment and sort of change the way in which we do that in order to give students those opportunities of live work in particular, so important for their development. Okay, this will stimulate, influence and enhance and reinforce your learning, the students' learning. This is a cost of about £100 a year. Overseas trips usually happen each year, and all level 3 students, they're eligible. They don't have to attend, they don't have to go on these trips, but they're usually offered. And they occur at the beginning of the final project to enhance and support work. It's not mandatory, as we say. If these trips can be geared towards particular projects and that they would benefit from, it's just there as an option. Student finance is available for KIP fees, travel and trips. You can apply online through the Student Hub if you wish to apply. In terms of kit that students need on performing arts, generally speaking, it's a t-shirt and a hoodie for £30 that they would receive. All right. What happens if I gain a place? You'll be offered a place which you can accept or decline. If you accept your place and then you change your mind, just let us know so we can stop your application process. That's all we ask. During the summer, you will receive information starting, letting you know when your start date is and what you'll need to bring in during what we call induction week, this being the first week. This is usually your qualifications, your certificates you might have received, ID, all those things, so we can get them in the system, and that's all done and dusted then. You'll also receive a project to complete over the summer. This depends on the course, and it depends on what we want you to do when you first begin. So that really depends. Okay, next slide, please. Right, how will my course run? All of the performing arts courses we offer are through UAL, which is the University of Arts London. And they offer freedom, flexibility and individual approaches for learners to explore a range of disciplines, techniques and processes. The idea of this is that we are building them as practitioners in their field and trying to enhance employability skills, really giving them a chance to explore what those job opportunities really are within performing arts, because they're not always as clear cut as people think. There are lots and lots of opportunities within performing arts and going into industry to help them go on to have a long and successful career. All units on the course are pass only, apart from the final unit, which will be assessed a pass, a merit, or a distinction. This determines your grade for the overall course. The idea is that throughout the year, you've had lots of opportunities to kind of get feedback on your abilities in different areas, so that by the time you come to your final project, you really do achieve the best that you can achieve, as you've improved so much across that time based on the feedback you've received. You will work through project briefs for each unit, and your lessons will feature workshops and demonstrations from your tutors, alongside time for you to develop and explore your own practice. This goes across all of the levels. We do really try to push independent learning and thinking and working in that autonomous way, in order to really allow them to reach their potential and try to understand where their creative strengths lie, in order for us to go forward and really push in those areas. Your deadline and tasks will be clearly stated on your project brief. Now, once you hand in your work at deadline, you'll receive feedback within 3 weeks and have the ability to improve your work. You must pass all units to achieve your qualification. Good luck. Okay, what you can expect. We will stretch and challenge you to create work to a high standard. I'll be honest with you now, we do have high expectations of everybody, but only in the best way. We believe that everybody is capable of greatness within whatever sector, whatever course they're on, whatever their interests lie. We believe in really enabling you to achieve the best that you can. We will push you to think like a practitioner, research, respond, reflect, and communicate to an audience, because this is what we do. We will expect you to engage in the world and use a range of sources for inspiration. We will expect you to be open-minded, curious, and open to feedback and discussion. Again, these are all key skills in the industry, and this is very much a training ground for that. Okay. We have some examples coming up. We've got a short video here of some of the work that we do with some former students. Take a look.
Are you a performer? Do you love to act, to dance, to sing? Explore and develop skills and techniques in the fields of acting, musical, classical, contemporary and physical theatre, dance, movement and more. With a dedicated visual art, performing arts and media centre at your disposal, our tutors will teach you essential techniques through auditions, workshops and live performances. Work towards progression to university, stage school and employment in the industry. Discover your future at Solihull College and University Centre.
Great, thank you. Right, okay, there on the screen, don't be afraid of this, but this is just a structure of the qualification and how it works. This is for level 1. So as you can see on level 1, those are the units there, how they will begin. You will start off with an introduction to music, performing and production arts, and unit 2, an introduction to research for music, performing and production arts. Then that moves on to the other units there. For unit 3, communicating with an audience for music and performing arts, and then production development for music and performing arts, and finally performance development for music and performing arts. Now, from units 1 to 5 there, you'll achieve throughout the year. Now, your final project will be unit 6, which is music, performing and production arts project. That's the one that you'll receive your final grade for. But as you can see, we really do scaffold the way and expose the students to lots of opportunities to develop skills to do with the production side of it, production roles such as stage management, lighting, design, you know, considering all those sorts of areas, script, choreography, all those aspects, as well as being a performer. And then actually exposing them to different styles of performance and practitioners, and getting them used to thinking in the way of a practitioner to go on to create their own work. That's what we're training them for. Next slide, please. On level 2, there are a few more units, as you can see, because this is a step up. They begin with the first 2, Introduction to Performance and Introduction to Production. This will be these are the initial units. And that then moves over to the diploma, because in the first 2 units you achieve the award, which is the beginning of the qualification. Then you move over to the diploma, which is unit 3, communicating with an audience, staging a performance, contextual research for performance and production, performance skills and practice, production skills and practice, and then personal project and presentation. So they must achieve all of these, and then in their final FMP that we call final major project, they'll do unit 9, which is producing and performing to an audience, which is what they like to do. Fab. Okay, level 3, extended diploma in performing and production arts. This layout is different again. On the left of your screen is the structure of the first year, okay, which is the level 3 diploma in performing arts. Now, as you can see, there are 8 units there: principles of performance, engaging with an audience, introduction to professional practice, critical and contextual awareness, production skills and context, performance skills and context, preparation for specialist study, and collaborative performance project. Their FMP, their final major project, is unit 8, the collaborative performance project. Then in their second year, which is the level 3 extended diploma in performing arts, they have less units, but they're bigger projects, and this really does bring all of the hard work that they've done. Some students all the way from level 1, 2 through 3, or whether they've just been on the level 3 course, to really hone their skills. So unit 9 is developing performance and production skills. Unit 10, preparing for progression. Within that unit, we are going through UCAS with students applying to university or drama school or dance school, stage school in general, also preparing them for the workplace and going into industry. So that's all focusing about next steps. And then unit 11 is their independent project, which is exploration of specialist study and context. Their FMP, their final major project, is unit 12, extended project. Okay, where will my course lead? Lots of people, I'm sure lots of parents and carers will be curious about performing arts, saying, well, where does it lead? You know, how is it useful to my son or daughter? Well, all courses offer progression levels from 1 to 3, as I've just gone through. We offer, at the university, we offer a BA Honours in Professional Creative Practice, which is in association with Northampton University. This is a course that offers all kinds of creative opportunities. It's not specifically performing arts. It's a broader creative practice opportunity. So that's something that's there that we're extremely proud of, that in that UAL way of thinking, it really prepares you well for this type of degree. So that's an option there. Students also progress on to university, stage schools or conservatoire courses within the industry. There are also jumping off points in which each level for students who have reached the end of their, it says art and design there, but basically the performing arts, their creative journey at that point. There are points at which they can leave at that point. Right. What career paths are available after my course? So there's some examples there of industries that creatives go into. There's all kinds of opportunities. Lots of people think if you do performing arts, do you then go on and be a dancer, a singer, or an actor? This is all very likely, absolutely. But there are all kinds of industries that are open to someone with a creative qualification, such as the ones that we offer that are all on the screen there. The creative industries definition from the UK Government Department for Culture, Media and Sport is Those industries which have their origin in individual creativity, skill and talent, and which have a potential for wealth and job creation through the generation and exploitation of intellectual property. There are 13 subsectors under the term creative industries, and these are advertising, architecture, art and culture, craft, createch, design, fashion, games, music, publishing, and television and radio. The creative industries in the UK contributed more than 111 billion to the UK economy in 2018. That is almost £13 million to the UK economy every hour. New statistics reveal the creative industry sector has grown more than 5 times faster than the national economy. And as you can see there, that's the UK creative economy in 2018. Why is creativity important to employers? Now, this is something that it's because the way in which we teach them to be critical thinkers, creative thinkers, and problem solving, and being able to apply a creative eye to everything that they do. The skills are very, very relevant. Okay, so as you can see there, creativity. Why is creativity important? So we've got all the transferable skills there. I'm not going to go through it all. Have a look. But one of the main things that we focus on is confidence building, being a useful member of society, okay, showing empathy, being able to have good interview skills, being able to project manage effectively, being able to work independently as well as work as a team, and to work towards and meet deadlines. Okay, so as you can see there, critical thinking leads to digital fluency, information literacy, ethics and professional responsibility, diversity and teamwork. All right. And we are very much developing 21st century critical thinkers. Our students are so complex in the sense that they know that they feel creative, they know that there are areas in which they love performing, they love finding out about new forms of dance and singing and music and acting and different things. And all of the skills that they already come with really lend themselves well to this idea of critical thinkers. They're able to engage in problem solving, as I've already pointed out, collaborate with others all the time, make real world applications, communicate clearly and accurately, be able to think creatively and critically of themselves as well as others, and then reflect on their learning constantly. This is something that we do throughout the course. They have to reflect on their work, their contribution, and they have to have high expectations of themselves and their ability, and be respectful of their art form, always. What follows here, some images, more recent images and some ones from the past of our students working in and around the facilities that we have. Take a look. These are our students at the minute. They're working on a verbatim piece and a dance piece. That's one of our dance studios. Here, students are creating devised work using physical theatre. The same here. This is in our theatre space. We have our own lighting and sound system. The majority of our performances take place there as well in the smaller space. It's also, as you can see from there, used as a rehearsal space, a classroom of sorts. Okay. This is more creative work that our students are making. A lot of it, as I said, this is them showing their development phase, trying out different strategies. This was before social distancing. Okay, we have our students there creating a movement piece in the theatre again. These images are from a production that we did called Attempts on Her Life, looking at anti-naturalism and how we communicate with the audience in different ways. And some of this work was taken outside of the building as a part of an induction project that we were doing about deconstruction in and around the college. And this was a collaborative project throughout the School of Art with all of the other art subjects. Okay, did we? Oh, yeah, I think we got to the end there. Okay. Right, we hope you enjoyed a brief visit digitally to our facility. Normally, myself and the team would be at the space to meet all of you guys and take any questions and to take you around the space. I hope that was informative and enjoyable and not too boring. I hope I included a little bit of everything there. Obviously, if you do have any more questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, but if not, we hope to hear from you very soon.
Kelly, shall I just go through the questions that have been answered so far?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Them? Okay, so there's a couple of questions then. So in the chat, there was a question asking, is level 3 diploma equivalent to 3 A-levels? So yeah, the extended diploma in performing arts is the equivalent to 3 A-levels and offers the equivalent amount of UCAS points. And when you come to apply for university, UCAS gives all the qualifications and the gradings in those qualifications different weightings. So getting a distinction at UAL and extended diploma is the equivalent of getting 3 A's at A-level. So people have asked what university students go to. So last year we had several students went to University of Warwick. What's interesting about that course is that's quite an academic drama course, really. It has a good mix of practical and theory on it, but definitely more of a kind of more traditional drama course. We had students went to Wolverhampton. Some students went to Mount, which is a stage school in Birmingham. We had a student who went to Chichester for a course that's what's called their triple threat course, which is acting, singing and dance. And we had a student go to LIPA to do their technical theatre course. So there was a big range of people who went on to a variety of courses. And that's common, really, that people go to different courses. So classes, yes, the course is considered a full-time course. You would be in roughly 3 days a week. This year's a little bit different. Students are in with us for 2 days a week, and then they have another day online lessons. It's really interesting. We're teaching all sorts of stuff online. We teach singing online, we taught dance online. Kelly's been doing duologues and monologues and all sorts of things online. We had Brecht workshop online today. So we've had to embrace that this year, but we hope by the time you join us, things will be more normal. So the students would be in roughly 3 days a week working with us. And then the rest of the time you'd be doing things, you'd have projects to do, you'd have lines to learn, songs to learn, dance routines to practice. And we have an online learning platform in the college called Moodle, which you'll be able to access, but all your work will be. Cameron has asked a question in the chat and said he couldn't take GCSE drama out of school, didn't go ahead. That's quite common, Cameron, don't worry. Up to 50% of the schools that we see haven't. What we're looking for is a really strong interest. Often students come and say, maybe I didn't do GCSE drama, but I've been in Stagecoach since I was 7, or I've done 15 musicals. So don't let that put you off applying. Apply to us and we can look at your skills. We'll audition you so we can see anyway that you've got a strong interest in it. Simon's asked, could I take another course as well as performing arts, like architecture? I could fall back on if acting didn't work out. Unfortunately, Simon, because that's considered a full-time course, that's not possible. So what, in terms of like education is funded by the government, they will fund students for one full-time course. So your performing arts would be a full-time course. If you did something like A-levels, it's part of your study. So your A-level in theatre studies would be 1/3 of what you do. With us, it's everything. So it's your full 3 days, plus your English and maths if you need to retake those. Claire's asked, is there a limit on how many people get a place? We like to take around 20, Claire, no more than 20 really in each class. So if we auditioned 30 people and it was amazing, then we'd probably look at opening a second class in that area. So it's more important that we get the right students on the right course. When you come to have your phone interview, we will talk to you about that. So the process that will happen this year, I know Kelly's covered it a little bit, but just to reiterate, is that if you apply to us, you'll then get in the post a letter or an email that will say, thank you, you're now through to the next stage. Please email an audition piece to this email address. And if you're applying for level 1 or 2, just email us 1. And if you're applying for level 3, you need to email us 2 pieces. And that could be a song or a dance, or we'd like at least 1 monologue from the script, and you can pick what the other piece is. So you just video yourself on your phone or get mum to video you, and then you email them to us. When we've seen them, then we'll give you a call. We'll have a chat with you about your audition, about what you've done before, and about what's right for you. It's important with an audition process that it's right for you and for us. So you also having a chance to ask us some questions on a one-to-one. So it's not necessarily about how many people, it's more about getting the right students. I feel my dancing and acting are fine. My singing is not my strongest. Will this be a problem? Absolutely not. What we have all the time is students who go, yeah, you know what, this is my strong suit. This is what I really want to do. I'll give singing a go, I'll give dancing a go, but I really want to act. Or I'll give the others a go, but I really want to sing. That's fine. We will develop you as a whole performer, because even if you don't, if you know what you want to do, you want to be a contemporary dancer, you know the style you want to be. It's important to be as employable as possible in performing arts and to have as many strings to your bow as you can. So we'll always be encouraging you to develop all your skills. So it's not a problem, but you will have to be willing to give all 3 disciplines a go. How many hours is the course a week? So the course is you'll be roughly doing performing arts face to face with us for about 12 hours. On top of that, you'll have what's called solar time. And that will be time in the rehearsal rooms to rehearse your pieces, rehearse your dance, rehearse show scripts, etc. You will also have work that's set for your tutors on Moodle. So, for instance, there'll be shows that you have to watch. There'll be critiques you have to write. And there'll be homework, and on top of that, things like line learning, etc. If you do maths and English, that's normally for about 4 hours a week. You'll have maths and English. How do students apply? So to apply, just go to the Solihull College website and you can just click to apply there, and that will take you through to it. You can just fill an application form. It's not an arduous, long application form, and they'll send you a link to upload your audition videos. Do you work with the RSC or other theatre companies? Yeah, we work with lots of theatre companies actually, Simon. Last year, our students spent a day at the RSC doing all sorts of things with them. They got to tour backstage around the wardrobe department. They got to kind of play with the lighting desk and the sound desk and the swans. They were looking at making visual things. They met the artistic director, introduced them. It was a pretty amazing day. And yes, we work with lots of different theatre companies, and our practitioners are all practicing. So Patsy, for instance, one of our dance teachers, she's just got some Arts Council funding to develop another project for her, and she choreographed Penguins at the Birmingham Ref last year. Kelly, who's been introducing you this evening and looking after you so very well, is currently undertaking an MA, which is very exciting to expand her knowledge and things. And Sam, who's one of our dance teachers, she also kind of does workshops and performances, particularly singing. She kind of sings all over the place. Theatres, care homes, anywhere that'll have her. We can't shut her up, which is wonderful. So yeah, everyone's still very actively involved in the industry, and we work a lot with different companies. We've also got a partnership through some other projects with kind of TV and film production companies through some TV boot camps that we're running in partnership with Great Central. Do we have to buy the hoodie and the t-shirt? No, Hannah, you don't have to buy it. What you do have to have is blacks. So you do need to have, a black t-shirt, black trousers, and we ask students to come in their blacks every day for rehearsals. And you'll need some kind of either be prepared to wear barefoot or to wear jazz shoes, or some students wear thongs, which just go over your toes. But you don't have to buy the t-shirt and the thing. When you start college, everyone is able to apply for something called Learner Support Fund, and if you're eligible for Learner Support Fund, that will pay for the hoodie and a t-shirt, stuff, and any trips and bits. Lucy, what is the ratio of writing to performing? Well, that's really tricky, Lucy, because When you're in the classroom, I would say it's probably 80-20, or at times maybe even 90-10 in favour of performing and practical work. But we do expect, and UAL do expect, that students are developing a real evaluative voice and really the ability to reflect. So there is a lot of written work that goes alongside it. You will expect to be keeping journals and logs. You'll be expected to be researching practitioners. You'll be expected to reflect on your performance. Now, that doesn't always have to be written. Sometimes some students do some vlogs, create some videos or blog alongside it. We encourage students in the second year to set up a website, which they then develop and do their work on. So yeah, there is an element of written work, but it's more about you developing your critical voice as an artist. That's really important to the qualification. Simon's asked, do we have to create a portfolio? No, you don't create a portfolio, Simon, but in your second year, you will return to kind of working on audition work in the second year of the extended diploma to get you ready for interviewing at drama school or university. And that will mean that you've got a really strong set of auditions. So you should have historical monologues, Shakespeare, you should have some contemporary monologues, a song that you can sing if required. If you're going on to dance courses, a selection of dance audition pieces. And we have some really exciting things happening at the minute. So, for instance, we have a series of questionnaires that happen on a Thursday afternoon at the moment with all sorts of different people who work in performing art. So far, they've spoken to a stunt woman, they've spoken to an art therapist, they've spoken to directors, dancers, actors, all these different kind of people who are coming on and doing Q&A to the students so people can see how broad the industry is. Do we have to do the audition before or after the interview? Also, when will interviews be? So you will send in your audition tape first, and then we'll telephone you for an interview. The reason we do that is it means that by the time we telephone you, we've got something to chat to you about. We can see a little bit about you, see a little bit about your work, and we can have a chat. And we will call you. Telephone interview will be after school. It'll be on a Tuesday, and you'll be advised of the date. So you'll be given a date to send your audition tape by. Then we'll watch it and give you a call to have a chat in more detail about the work you've done, about your aspirations. When you apply, Hannah, you'll be given an email address to send it to. It's just a Solihull College email address, and they'll tell you a date of your interview that you have to send it by. Any more questions? Oh, there's a couple more gone back in the chat, just noticed. No, I think that's everything. That's all the questions answered.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for attending this evening. We hope you found it informative, and we hope to hear from you all really soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye for now.
Bye.